So what I'll quickly go through with you guys now is the overview of what I read in 2018, so 35 books, it shouldn't be too long. So in January I started off, in a sense badly, but it was still actually okay for me, with only one book read. Now the book that I read was The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, so it is a over 1,200 page book, so it's still okay, but the second book in the series I read in 2 weeks, so I'm definitely hoping that I will be able to get a little bit of a head start in January this year by increasing the amount of reads that I get in January. So just one, which means that my Goodreads stats were already pretty low at that point. So in February I read 2 books, none of them I have physically. One of them is Winter by Ellie Smith, the other one is Red Sparrow by Jason Matthews. And then in March, once again, I only read one book. Now, I didn't actually take these books in the correct order, which means that I now have to find it in this pile next to me. And sadly, it is at the bottom of the pile. So the one book I read in the month of March, and this is definitely a shame because it is like, it falls in the under 200 page count, is Unfuck Yourself, a non-fiction book by Gary John Bishop. Now in the month of April things pick up a little bit and I read 3 books, but one of them was a short novella, so don't count it too much. That one I will just say in Dutch because it is not translated, and that is Gezien de Feiten by Griet op de Beek. Now this is a gift that is given every year in Belgium during like the literary week. So if you buy a book in that week, you get like the literary book week gift. It's usually a book of like this size. This is one that will come back later. Yeah. So it's very short, it's like under 100 pages always. Then the second book I read was Como Agua para Chocolate by Laura Esquivel. I do not know the English title for that one. And the third book for the month of April we're in, right, is Little Fires Everywhere by Celestine. And then for May I continued the trend of reading 3 books a month, and I read De Zomer hou je ook niet tegen by Dimitri Verhulst, so which is also a literary gift for the year 2015 in this case. So yeah, I was trying to get myself in the reading spirit again by reading a couple of these short novellas, just because I was in a bit of a slump, as you might have noticed from the fact that I was reading 1, maybe 2 books a month up until then. And then the 2 other books for the month of May are this one, yeah, the Discovery of Heaven by Harry Mulisch. The title has totally disappeared on this thing, but it's fine, I didn't like the book. And then the third one is the 100th Queen by Emily R. King, to which I read the sequel in June. So in the month of June I finished 4 books, things are picking up. So I finished The Fire Queen by Emily R. King, which is a sequel to The 100th Queen, which I read in May. So I also read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and then I also read 2 physical books that I have with me here. First one of which is Dragon Teeth by Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton, I guess, is the actual English pronunciation for that. And I started my reread for the Harry Potter series, got the wrong one, with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling in the Spanish edition. So we are starting to get into the part of the year in which I discovered booktube, and let's see if that has made an impact. So mind you, in the month of July I only started watching booktube, and at the end of the month of August I started, so I'm mostly expecting to see a bit of a change in like September, October, November, December. However, I also had some very, very busy times in October, November, December, so that might have set me back. So in the month of July I finished 2 books. Busy watching YouTube, I guess. Now one of these is The Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, so it is over 1,300 pages. It's the longest book I read this year. I read it in 2 weeks time, so it was a very good book. I really encourage you all to read the series. And then the second book that I finished in the month of July is Less by Andrew Sean Greer. And then the month of August approaches, in which I totally immersed myself into booktube. And then I finished 6 books. So clearly booktube at the very least has inspired me to read more. I think overall you'll see that the second part of the year has more books in it than the first part of the year. And so in the month of August I finished first of all finished in the month of August Harry Potter and the Secret and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling, the Spanish edition again. Then I finished a book by Stephen King that I borrowed from a friend on writing a memoir of the crafts. Then I finished Legion by Brandon Sanderson, which is my shortest book of the year. It's a book that I got from the library, and sadly I didn't like it because I really love Brandon Sanderson, and so I wanted to read more of his work, and that was one of the books that was available in the library, but didn't really like it. Then it's the month that I went to the library because I also read Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb from the library that month. And then I also finished the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins that month, so another non-fiction. And then the final book that I finished in the month of August is actually one I think I forgot to put amongst my books. So the final one is The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. So yeah, these piles are starting to fall on me, but we're almost through. So in the month of September I went on a trip to the US, and so I didn't take any physical books with me. I think I only took like audiobooks and ebooks with me. So the first book that I finished was On Chesil Beach by Ian McEwan. I finished this on the plane because I wanted to watch the movie on the plane as well. Then I also finished Kingdoms and Chaos, the 4th book in the King's Dark Tidings series by Cal Kate. And then I read a couple of books that were like inspired by the US trip. So I read Lost in My Own Backyard, a Walk Through Yellowstone Park, I think is the subtitle, by Tim Cahill, and Ranger Confidential, Living, Working and Dying in the National Parks by Andrea Langford. Then I also read, then I listened to the audiobook for America for Beginners by Leah Frankie, which is also set on like a road trip in the US. And I also started listening to Elantris while I was there, but I didn't finish it yet back then. So it'll pop up later in this video, just as that cat just popped in there. Then let's see, we are on to, so the month of September had 5 finished books in it, which I think is still pretty okay considering the fact that I was also traveling for 3 of those 4 weeks. And while yes, I did have total time on it on the plane, for example, for the rest this is just reading that I did like in the evenings before going to bed, so I'm still quite happy with that. And then we are on to the month of October, and we are starting to get into the like Cleo is stretching herself thin period of my year. And so in the month of October I still finished 3 books, which is A Discovery of Witches, 700-page book, A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, which you can see my review for this one to find out my feelings about it. And then I also finished Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling, the Spanish edition. And I will just put it here. And one of the better books for me for this year, which I still only gave a 4-star rating. I mean, it's a 4.5-star rating because yeah, it didn't reach the level a 5-star rating needs for me. But I was still very happy about it, and I very much encourage everybody to read this, which is The Master and Margarita by Michael Bulgakov. And then we are on to the month of November, which is sadly putting me back in the 2 books finished range. I was really hoping to get to the 3 books, but I just didn't make it. And that is, so I finished in the month of November 2 books. Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks, which is a short story collection, and Milkman by Anna Burns, which is the winner of the Man Booker Prize for 2018. And I started, but didn't finish in November, but finished at the beginning of December, A Little Lie by Hanya Yanagihara. So in December I sadly finished 3 books, I wanted to finish 4, but I got A Little Lie by Hanya Yanagihara in there. And then I also finished The Trial by Franz Kafka. I have this book, but I think it's in my bedroom still. But so yeah, I'm not gonna take it. It's too much effort at this point. And then I also finished the audiobook for Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. And then I am 2/3 of the way in A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. But I did not get there. If I would have known about if I would have thought of the option of subscribing myself to Script earlier, I could have finished this month. But yeah. The best made plans. So these are all the books that I read in 2018. Please let me know if you've read any of those and what your thoughts were on them, or if you're interested in reading one of these. So my 2019 TBR video is already up. I will link it down below in case you're interested. In any case, I hope you all have a wonderful day today. This video will probably not go up today, so there's no reason for me to say it like this, but yeah. In retrospect, I hope your 1st of January was a wonderful day, that you hopefully spent with family, friends maybe, over a nice meal, and yeah, wish you all the best. Hope that all of your plans, resolutions and goals might be reached. Most of all, I just hope you find the support you need in case you have some better days in 2019. But so yeah, see you guys on my next video. Bye!